I think it was a beautiful theme, that you guys chose, and the talk was really nice, and it has opened up, multiple areas. And water, of course, is an area that is full of challenge, and we will have to, probably look for sources from where we could, recycle, reuse, save, water as much as possible, and that could be, flown back into the system. Uh, I was actually, reminded of I was in Nagpur 3 years back, and I was interacting to one of the scientists in Niri, and I asked him that why this city is being called as Nagpur, and then he said, "Ki, it is because of the Nag River. There's a Nag River that originates from Nagpur, and it is only because of this Nag River that the city is known by this." So I said, "Let's go and have a look at that river." And he said, "You will feel a little bad," but I said, "Okay, fine." So we actually went and saw the source of the Nag River, then followed the course of the Nag River, and realized that almost 50% of the treated and non-treated sewage is all being released into Nag River at a particular point of time, as it flows a little away from the Nagpur. And all along that river, you have these vegetable growers who are growing vegetable. It's Nag Nala, somebody is saying now. Yeah, Shubham, exactly. It's no more Nag River, it's Nag Nala. And so there are vegetable growers, and they are growing all kinds of vegetables, which is basically being irrigated by, the treated and non-treated water. We all know that, sewage water, if it is not treated properly, can have, a lot of, it can carry a lot of pathogens, can also have a lot of, toxins in them. And I was amazed that all that vegetable is coming to the Nagpur city. So I told that scientist, "You're basically eating your own shit." He said, "Precisely." See, so everybody is Nagpur is basically eating their own shit, because, that water, because it is not treated properly, and we are perhaps not looking at this problem with seriousness. That the technology, we will have to invest a lot on innovation and technology to find ways as to how these, millions and millions of gallons of water. I mean, even after putting up a sewage treatment plant, it's a huge sewage treatment plant, the investment of almost close to the tune of 1100 crores, or I think something like that. And even after that kind of investment, if that water could not be reused meaningfully, and if it has to flow into the river, and along with 50% of untreated water, then why was that water treated? I was reading an article from a Japanese scientist, and he said that the Indian society will have to overcome a huge cultural, shift, that they will have to start recycling the water that goes into their commodes. That water will
Absolutely.
have to come out and will have to be treated at the household level, and will have to be converted to the potable level, where you will have to drink it. I mean, that the country are already reaching, that zero level, zero water level. So these challenges are immense, and I really appreciate, this talk, in terms of, at least if there are many people like this, because the problem is so huge, and I think there is huge amount of, space and scope to work in this area. And in times to come, I think this would be the area, that would be in greater demand, and the need is already being felt. Drinking water is short of supply in many cities, and we really do not know what quality of water is coming from, where that water is coming. So unless we have, more transparent technologies that can guarantee that, okay, this water is safe, irrespective of the fact that from where this water has come, but the technology ensures that it is free from all kinds of, coliforms, all kinds of pathogens, all kinds of toxins, and is completely safe for, the human consumption, we will have to spend a lot of time and energy in this direction. Somebody's talked about the current education system, the lesser said than done about the education system. And it's unfortunate, it's really
Mhm.
unfortunate that our education system does not encourage, does not provide, that kind of window. And that is the reason why perhaps we don't have, so many entrepreneurs in our country, because they are never able to muster up so much of courage. At the back of the mind, मम्मी पापा के सपने हमेशा पीछे पड़े रहते हैं, नौकरी नौकरी नौकरी. So nobody is, so people think that, let's keep moving on this track. So on that account also, I must really appreciate you for taking such a bold and courageous step, and forming this Indra Water, and providing this fantastic solution to the society. And maybe sometimes whenever the lockdown opens, and I would actually request you to or rather send an official request you to come to our campus, and let us know as to how best we can handle our wastewater in whatever form that we are either using or discharging wherever it is going. Of course, most of the sewage goes to the sewage treatment plant, but then there's a lot of gray water that is being generated. And if in some meaningful way, we can recycle or reuse that water, I think it's going to be of immense, use to us. So thank you so much for this wonderful and a very, very exciting talk. And I was very happy to see that constant smile on your face, as you were talking. So a lot of positivity in your talk, that was something that I was really charged about. Otherwise, people are either too professional, and just trying to sell the solutions or technology that they have invented. But I could see a lot of passion in you in terms of, that whatever you are doing, you are actually enjoying and you're liking it. And I think this should be the biggest takeaway for all our students also.